Hey, we are back for another Excellent Adventures. Reec right here, live from Media Campus West. We got a very special guest, Dre Taylor, all the way from Kansas City. He might be in Africa. I don't know where he's at. He's got a lot of great things going on, some amazing things happening in the co-op sector as well as aquaponics. He's going to be telling us and teaching us how to grow, how to start your own and grow your own, and the importance of it. Without further ado, let's introduce Dre Taylor to the Excellent Adventure Show with your boy Reec. What's up, Dre?
Hey, what's going on, boss? How you doing?
Man, I'm feeling great. Man, let's talk about these things. So on Excellent Adventures, we talk about people that are doing backyard chicken farming and growing, co-ops, all types of homesteading, and people want to know about your adventure. And you've got something amazing going on in the Midwest out in Kansas City. One of our good friends of the show, AB, said we got to get Dre on. He's doing some stuff out here that's keeping people fed and sustainable living. So we got to talk about this, man. Let's talk about this KC Urban Farm Co-op. Let's talk about the NVA aquaponics and everything you got moving along. All right?
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, it's a lot to cover, but I'll try to cover as much as I can.
Yeah.
I'm actually in Ghana right now. So, yeah, I'm here full time, living my life over here. So I moved from Kansas City. So maybe last year, but I've been coming like the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had a lot of stuff going on in Kansas City. Started off with Nile Aquaponics. I was on tour at the Wabash. And so I had a mentoring program called Medicine Men. So I want to teach my boys how to grow food. And so I had over 200 boys, you know, from 2012 to like time the pandemic hit, and that's when we stopped mentoring. But I wanted them to teach them how to grow food. So we had like a small little aquaponics setup that we built in where we used to mentor at this old elementary school that I attended. And so we built like a little small 4 foot by 8 foot grow table in the basement of that school, and we had like 100-gallon fish tank. And so we let the boys, you know, make a little aquaponic system, first time using hand tools, saws, tape measures, and things like that. So we built a little system, had, you know, T5 lights we used for the lighting, and they was growing everything from lettuce, spinach, cabbage, tomatoes. He was even doing black soldier fly larvae there too. We had partnered with Lincoln University, Black HBCU. They were self-facilitating us growing fish. And so we use that model, that little 4 foot by 8 foot table, and we would show people how to grow foods. We bring funders down into the basement of the school we was mentoring out of. And that basically led to now about aquaponics. So we got 5 plots of land in the urban core of the city, you know, and we cleared the land, the trees, the city helped clear land. And then we built a big greenhouse, 30 foot by 150 foot greenhouse. On the property in the middle of the hood, and we put like an outside garden, the size of a block, and there was free food for people in the community to eat whenever they want to eat. So it's like our security system, we had a built-in security system. So as long as people was eating free and getting the food, then we didn't have to worry about anybody breaking in and stealing stuff from the greenhouse. So we involved the community there. We had about 5,000 people that would come yearly.
Wow.
Over 50 countries represented. I was growing 30,000 tilapia inside of the place. I had, you know, multiple layers of vegetables growing on different tiers. My fish tanks had 2 fish tanks that was 6 feet deep, 4 foot wide, 120 feet long. So 2 20,000-gallon tanks, and I had 1 tank that was half that size. And so we had about, I think it was like 30,000 gallons of water, or 50,000 gallons of water inside our greenhouse.
Yeah.
For our fish growing that.
Wow. So you had this huge facility, this greenhouse, and you've got a fish tank basically as the base of it. And on top of the fish tank, you got your tilapia growing. Everybody loves some tilapia, right? Like mine with a little hot sauce. And then you got the plants growing on top of the aquaponic system. So everything is kind of like a self-sufficiency. It's like a circle going.
Yeah, you pump the water up to the grow bays where we run vegetables at. It filters the water, and then go back to the fish. It's clean water or cleaner water, and the water supplies nutrients to the vegetables. So, you know, basic aquaponic system. We almost say basic because I actually got a patent on that on my system because I was breeding black certified larvae. So it was a self-harvesting system where I could breed black certified larvae and have them crawl out and go into the fish tank if I wanted them to, or collect the larvae and feed them when I wanted to feed the fish. So
you have a full self-sufficient system going.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think that was like the first self-harvesting, system I think in the country possibly. But that was before I left to Ghana. So I closed the operation now. But when I was doing the aquaponics, I started up Kansas City Urban Farm Co-op. And so the idea behind that was that you have more access to a firearm than you do organic fruit in an urban core. And so I wanted to be able to grow enough food, to be able to supply organic food, especially fruit, to supply to people in the community. So we had a large turnout of people who wanted to be a part of the co-op, who was concerned about the food sovereignty. And so I had like 200 people show up in like 3 weeks time period for a meeting, and so we had a good turnout. And we ended up, after going to different locations, the city was going to give us some land to do so. So we settled on a place called Swope Park, one of the biggest public parks in the country. And we had like 200 fruit trees that we started with, 100 beehives, 100 rows of like blackberries and raspberries. And I think coming up on this year, I think is our 4th or 5th year. It might be the 5th year, I believe. And so we have a pretty good harvest. So I wanted to be able to grow, at least 1 million pounds of fruit in 20 years.
Wow. So where, maybe I missed this, but where is this located?
It's in Kansas City, Missouri as well. Okay.
And that's still operational, where you've got thousands of people coming every single year to get food that you're supplying to the community.
Yeah, we don't have as many people as I have for now about aquaponics. It's not like an urban core, and it doesn't have as many people as the fruit trees. You know what I mean? People ain't excited to see fruit trees. People was excited to see, 30,000 tilapia insects growing food inside of a greenhouse. So people was excited about that. But we still get visitors that come out there for the co-op. And so even though I don't run it, I'm still the co-founder of it. And they pretty much got it going and still running it to this day there in Kansas City, Missouri.
How important is it to have a co-op in those areas, or have access to these fresh foods in those areas that you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it should be important because, when the pandemic hit, if you can see or experience, when people were going crazy and a food shortage, that should have been a telling sign that at any given point in time, things can hit the fan. You need to have access to, fruit or vegetables growing, at least some seeds. I had people contacting me from 4 hours away in St. Louis grocery stores trying to get food for me because the supply chain was messed up. They couldn't get access to certain foods. And so they was contacting me 4 hours away to get food for me. And it was a main grocery store. I never heard of them before. So,
wow.
That's the primary reason, because people think, everything's always going to be good. There's always going to be food there. But as you've seen, when the pandemic hit, everybody was scrambling, stocking up, and they was running out a lot of stuff. So that should have been a telling sign to say, okay, if we didn't believe it then, we need to believe it now. We need to move forward and start growing our own food.
Absolutely. Right now we got Dre Taylor. We're talking about his aquaponics journey, his co-op journey. Now he's out in Ghana. I do want to touch base a little bit on your introduction and all of this. Like, how did you get started? What gets you, interested in starting these projects and getting into aquaponics and growing?
See, I was on YouTube, going down a rabbit hole on YouTube. I came across aquaponics, back in like 2009 or something like that.
So this is fairly new, and I'm cutting you off, and I apologize for that, but I want to cut you off for a reason. 2009, this is fairly new. This is almost in the 10, 14-year range of years ago. You just get on YouTube and you look at something, and now you're interested.
Yeah, it was some my uncle was telling me about it. He was telling me about, you can grow vegetables in rocks. And I'm like, what? You grow vegetables in rocks? I never heard of that. And an aquaponics. Your rocks is a growing medium, gravel.
Mm.
And so my uncle was telling me about it. I got, family that used to farm and shell properties and stuff like that in Mississippi and Arkansas. So in Arkansas at the time, my family grew food and had farms and stuff like that. So it wasn't nothing that wasn't not familiar. I was aware of it, but I just wasn't doing myself. But in 2009, 10, I heard about aquaponics, and then after that, was looking online or something, and I saw an aquaponic workshop at a local high school. Okay. And so me, my uncle, my grandfather went to the workshop. We built an aquaponic system, and then we went to our individual houses. So my grandpa had his own aquaponic system, my uncle had his, and I had my own. So we built the aquaponic system from there, and we started doing it from there. They didn't continue doing theirs, but I just expanded on it and built out what I built, with Nile Valley, from taking that. And the guy I learned from was actually Wood Allen. So I don't know if you're familiar with Wood Allen, but he's like one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people because he grew, 1 million pounds of food on less than 3 acres of land, which is unheard of to grow so much food. And so he did Michelle Obama's greenhouse or garden out there in the White House when she was there. And he probably taught more urban farmers than anybody else in the world. And so that was my mentor for years. I would go over to Wisconsin and Milwaukee to learn from him. We would talk on the phone and stuff like that. So, he's an older gentleman. Now he's not really doing too much. He's probably in the 70s. So he's been cut back probably much all the way, but that's what I learned from as far as aquaponics and what he was doing and expanded on it.
That's amazing, man. So how big was this first tank that you started growing stuff out of? Because we know you went to hundreds and hundreds of gallons of tanks and millions of pounds of food, but how big was the first tank?
The first tank was probably like a regular fish tank, I think.
About a 20-gallon, 10-gallon or something like that?
Yeah, about a 30 gallon or 55 gallon, something like that.
Okay. And what was sprouting out of there?
Probably some lettuce at the time. I don't even recall. Probably some lettuce. I was growing something easy.
I got you. So you would say maybe to the person that's just looking at this, they interested. It's like, man, I just want to do something at the house. You mean to tell me I can get a fish tank and some supplies and start growing lettuce? Give me like a I guess an aquaponics starter for dummies kit.
Well, people don't understand that you probably growing up when you was a kid. A lot of people grew up as a kid and noticed that their mother had a plant inside their fish tank. They never understood why that plant was growing so good in that fish tank. That's because those nutrients from the fish was supplying to the roots the nutrients for that plant to grow. And so a lot of times that was aquaponics. We just didn't know what it was called at that point in time. It was aquaponics. And so a lot of households, you always see, plants growing next to a fish tank, and it was growing and thriving. So that's actually aquaponics. So, that's pretty much the start. It's a lot of stuff on YouTube people can get into and figure out what works for them. Every system is the same. What works for me probably ain't gonna work for you. Everybody has to tweak it, you know what I mean, until they get it to go like they want it to go. So it depends on how many fish you got, how you feed it, what kind of filtration you have. And so there's a lot of factors that go into aquaponics where if I tell you, what to do, that don't mean it's going to work out the way that it worked out for me. And you're definitely going to kill some fish along the way.
I got you. So what would you say? Let's just say if somebody wanted a quick hit, they wanted to get their hands a little wet at it. What might be probably one of the easier things to try to go after if I wanted to start a system?
Start with some goldfish. They're easy to get. They're pretty resilient and everybody survives. If not, go get some new goldfish. One thing people can do is get like an IBC tote, one of those white 275 gallon, 300 gallon tanks, and you'll put, a third off of that tank, and then you turn it upside down, and that'll be your grow medium. And then you just get a pump the water to the top, and then let the water flow through a grow medium, which would be like gravel, or what's called hydrogen, which is a lighter clay, and that'll be what you put your plants in, and also be your filtration system as the water goes through there for your plants. And then just start off with a couple of fish, And then once you start tweaking your system and your water looks pretty good and your fish don't die, you can add some more fish to the system. And then you want to grow a fish, that's probably, you plan on eating a fish, you grow a fish that's pretty much native to whatever state you in. So,
okay.
And you want to grow that because it got to do with the weather there. And so the weather gets hot, or cool, the fish can thrive because it thrives in the lakes there. So you want to only use a native fish where you ain't have to heat or cool the water with aquaponics system.
Cool. So like here in Georgia, we probably use like a bluegill or something like that. That's native. That's not a super huge fish, but it's edible and it's still thrive in that environment. Yeah,
bluegill, catfish, crappie, bass, something like that.
Okay. You teaching us, man. We appreciate it, Dre. Tell me about this move to Ghana, man. What got you out of Kansas City to Ghana? Because it ain't like you said, I'm going to move to Texas or Georgia or something. You said, I'm going to the motherland. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I always had plans on coming here. I was going everywhere else, you know what I mean? I actually went to China, and I'm like, man, I went to China. I might as well go to Ghana. And I went to China to actually learn how to breed insects on a commercial level to feed to my fish, tilapia. Okay. So anytime you're growing anything,
Oh, we got an international connection, so we may have lost him for a second. We're waiting to get back. We're talking to Dre Taylor about his excellent adventure, and it's in the aquaponics realm. He's out in Ghana right now. There we go. Get you back.
100% fat, 40% protein, calcium, and has a natural antibiotic in them that the medical industry uses for certain illnesses. So I was basically feeding my fish medicine when I was growing them, the black butterfly larva.
Okay, so the soldier fly larva almost worked as a vitamin as well as a nutritional agent.
Correct.
So I feed my chickens that, and that's funny you say that because that's a great source of protein I've heard for my birds. I just know they love it. Every time I break them out, they love to eat them up, and they really enjoy it. And it seems that it helps them with their weight. It helps them with just having more energy and activity.
Yeah, and you'll get a better looking egg, a better tasting egg out of it too.
I didn't know that it had like a medicinal aspect of it as well. That's amazing.
Yeah, they like use certain enzymes out of them, squeeze them for like medical industry and like the lip balms and it goes a lot of makeup products too.
I don't tell my mama that. She probably won't use her makeup anymore. She know fly is coming from flies.
Yeah, she hears maggots. Flies sound better than maggots. So.
Right. Black soldier fly larva sounds way better than maggots.
yeah,
that's great.
Like, so crazy.
Right, so you took trip to international waters and you were trying to see how to better grow your insects. You made a stop in Asia. You went over to Africa. You get to Africa. Now you don't want to leave.
Yeah, man. Came to Ghana. Been wanting to come, and when I touched ground, man, I just felt at home. I felt more home here than I did in the U.S., which is crazy.
Wow.
You come here and you get more freedom. You're amongst your people. You don't worry about the violence. Ain't nobody shooting. Police ain't tripping. It's a lot of opportunities here. The weather's good. So, I mean, I'm loving it here, man, in Ghana. And there's all kind of opportunities here.
That's amazing. Man. When you're out there, you continue in all your growth journey there, and what is the difference on that soil?
Or did you say you in Atlanta?
Yes.
You familiar with Habasha?
Yes.
Yeah, so Brother Kashan with Habasha is my partner. So he hosted me out here in Ghana. So he's actually like 5 minutes from my property here in Ghana that I'm developing out here.
Cool.
So he hosted me my first time, and I'm doing a development out here. I got a tour company, so I bring people out here as well. But yeah, man, love it.
Sign me up. I definitely want to go. My dad has been to Ghana and Tanzania, Ivory Coast. One of my friends and coworkers, Coria, she like raves over. She said she had some eggs and she's an avid BlackYard Chicken egg customer from our way. But she said she went to Ghana and they made her some eggs, and she swore that they put some butter in the eggs. It's like, no, this is just how the eggs come out here, Miss Lady.
Yeah, it's like they smoother for some reason. I don't know. It's like a smoother egg. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is.
Just the way it is. I love it, man. How are you? Do you utilize social media at all when it comes down to your business or sharing the information that you're learning?
Learning as far as yeah, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I don't do too much agricultural stuff on those no more. Mm-hmm. I know the Kansas City Urban Farm Co-op page is still active in Kansas City, so they post a lot of stuff there still going on and volunteers and stuff like that. So that page is active. I'm not, as I said, Nile Valley, I pretty much shut down last year. So not last year, but yeah, probably last year I did. And so I don't really post on the aquaponic stuff no more, but yeah, I just post pretty much all things Ghana and what to do with my development and living in Ghana and everything that comes along with that.
Amazing, man. If people wanted to get in touch with you or be a part of that tour, how do they contact you?
Tours, Ghana.com. Easy. TOURSTOGHANA.com. Tours to Ghana. So we do an Afrochella trip. It's Afro Future now. So the nightlife, the cultural. So we do the dungeons, we do the Slave River, get fitted for clothes. Your hair braided if you want to get your hair braided. The nightlife is crazy. Something to do every night. The food, the history, museums and stuff like that. So I think I brought like 50 people last year. So this year, probably around like 75 or 100 maybe.
What's one misconception that you had about Africa before you got there that you found out was just totally off?
Misconception. It's definitely different cultural. I don't know if it was something that I was totally off on because I, watched YouTube videos and I was asking Kashan about Ghana back and forth, and so I had an idea of what to expect here, but I just didn't expect the people to be so hospitable. How welcoming they are. Because back home we hear all this stuff that our Africans don't like, African Americans, this and that, but that's a total lie in me. It's what's up, brother? Good morning, good evening, they greet you, and it's all positive. You know what I mean? For the most part. So that's probably the biggest misconception that they don't like us, which is a totally lie. And I just like to get that out there because people take bad information and run with it.
We appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for joining us on Eggcellent Adventures. You shared a wealth of knowledge. I know some people out there probably on Amazon right now trying to look up aquaponic systems and trying to figure out how to set one up in the house, man. But I appreciate you just giving that knowledge, and hopefully I'll be able to get on one of these tours out there and visit Ghana with you.
Yeah, brother, come on out, man. You ain't gonna want to go home. I'm trying to tell you.
My chicken's gonna be mad at me.
There's chicken goats running all around here, so you can get some more chicken for sure.
There we go. I just put down on some goats too, so those are on the way. But once again, man, thank you for joining our show. Anything you want to say before you get up out the door?
I'm doing developments and those interested in moving to Ghana, trying to get out of the U.S. I'm building about 72 total units out here. So the Beyond Investment.com, the beyondinvestment.com. So if you're interested in moving to Ghana, building a house, and starting to build in like the next couple of weeks, and you'll see the progress of that coming up soon. So check it out.
Cool, man. Thank you again. We appreciate you joining us, Dre.
Appreciate you, brother. Come on to Ghana.
For sure. And that was Dre Taylor once again, man. He's doing some amazing things now. He's getting people to experience Africa and Ghana, to be specific. So I appreciate y'all joining us once again for Eggcellent Adventures. It's been another great episode. It's your host, Reec. I'm gone.